The Walt Disney Company is determined to build out Walt Disney World, create expansions that people want to love. They must visit, they must pay money to go see, like Cars Land and Villains Land and Monsters, Inc. But what if we told you the big response to Epic Universe is leaving a lot to be desired? Because it turns out Epic Universe, well, they're already expanding, and their huge new expansion is likely to arrive before Disney's response to them. Hello, friends. Welcome back yet again where all the news should be fun. It's TPP, and today we've got an exclusive video for you talking about what's going down, or shall we say being built up, at Epic Universe. No, it's not fireworks this time. It is a massive new attraction, and it's going to beat Disney, we believe, to the finish line. Cars Land, sorry. Here comes something new to Dark Universe. Hey, Walt Disney World, you better look out because Epic Universe is already expanding. And ladies and gentlemen, the announcement is here. WDW News covering this one by Alice Kennedy. Universal filing reveals the scale of new Dark Universe attraction. It's a big one, and I bet it's going to be done before Disney's supposed response to Epic is finished. That, of course, being the Tom Sawyer Island replacement, Cars Land. Universal has filed a permit that indicates the Dark Universe expansion in Epic Universe is a large one, 71,500 square feet to be exact. This is not the attraction. This is the greatest attraction at Epic and maybe in the world, but it's not the attraction we're talking about today. The permit filed earlier this month is a new construction permit with Stantec Architecture Ltd. as the contractor. The tenant space is listed as 71,000 square feet. To put that into perspective, it's roughly the same size as the Rock and Roller Coaster attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So this is big enough. If it's a coaster, it could be a coaster. The permit does not indicate what kind of attraction this is. However, past concept art does show a large enclosed building that never made it to the opening of the park. Pictured below, it's near the top left of the image. This could be anything from a new ride to a new show. Now, because it's Dark Universe, it's actually pretty darn hard to see it, but we do think this is probably where it's going to go. There's a ton of expansion area to the right side of this image, but this is probably where it's going to go on the left side. All right, Culture, Marv, we'll start off with either one of you guys who wants to take it. Disney was supposed to be responding to Epic. They were supposed to be giving us a big, giant expansion at Magic Kingdom and updating all this stuff and spending billions of dollars to make people want to stay at Disney instead of Epic Universe. Epic is going to get the expansion out first, probably. I mean, they're already into construction. They've already cleared the land. And I was just at Magic Kingdom, and I looked and saw what they're doing at Cars Land. It's almost nothing. They've got a concrete wall, and nobody was working.
And they've been working on that for a year at this point. Yeah, Universal typically doesn't actually announce what's coming until they're already part of the way through construction. Like, we didn't know that we were getting Fast and the Furious replacing Rip Ride Rocket until we were most of the way, underway, with the actual construction of that attraction. Whatever it's going to be, I'm going to guess it's going to be some kind of live show, because it's the one thing that they don't have over at Dark Universe. I think if you did some kind of live monster show, I think that would go over really, really well with really cool effects. It would be something everyone can do, because right now it is kind of thrill ride based over there, because you got the Kuka arm and you've got the roller coaster over there for the werewolf. So yeah, I think a live show is probably the next thing they're going to want to add there, but it's going to be massive, whatever it is. And Dark Universe is so well themed. It is the place that I'm taking Caro when I force her to go to a theme park, because I think she will fall in love with it. And yeah, it is, Dark Universe is incredible.
Carol, are you going to go with Marv? Are you going to go see Epic Universe and maybe see this expansion at the rate they're going? Are you willing to do so and then report on what you experienced there? Is that in the cards for us?
I did promise that I would let you walk me around the theme park, so that way I could actually know what you guys were talking about. And then you started chanting the Tiki song at me and I got scared.
Well, you will be safe from the Tiki birds at this place, but not safe from the monsters. This area, I'm very excited for it to get some love, because I think it's the most ignored part of the park, and that's sad to me, because the Monsters ride, I think, is the greatest ride in any theme park anywhere.
Dang.
This area is so well themed, and it is one of those areas that completely transforms from day to night. And the streetmosphere is wonderful. The Invisible Man is great out there. You've got the people that come out in the violins to tell the story of like the Wolfman and Dracula and Frankenstein. And you could meet the Frankenstein's monster and the Bride of Frankenstein out there. This is a great, awesome place. You've got the windmill that bursts into flames over at the Burning Blade Tavern every once in a while. I mean, this is the coolest theme park land ever made.
Isn't there like a hidden bar in there too? I've heard something about as well.
Inside the Burning Blade Tavern, there's a bar. Yeah, it's like a Monster Hunter bar. So there's like all monster heads on the wall, and like you have like the hunters that come in and like you can talk to them and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Culture, when we look at Epic Universe, it needs some indoor spaces. So I'm very cool with something that keeps people cool or keeps them warm in the cold times. What do you think about the speed that Epic Universe is moving versus Disney right now, Culture? Disney is caught flat-footed, and they can't even respond before Epic Universe responds.
Well, they're flush with Disney's cash, so it's easy to, expand quickly. And look, Disney does it slowly because they take quarterly hits on their CapEx from the parks budget in order to build things, which is why it takes years for things to be done at Disney and months, it seems, over at Epic. So when I see about this, it's 71,500 square foot building being added just to this area, as simultaneously in a very large project is going in next to Ministry of Magic. They have things that are tied to this project 680 that I think are just, their plans are bigger than we can imagine. So
yeah, and this expansion will be close to this to the windmill, is what we're hearing.
And I'm going to tell you, this is going to look. It'll blend in because they do a great. They've done a better job of blending things in and being very conscientious of sightlines than Disney has for the last 2 decades. But that's an entirely different conversation. They desperately need an indoor space, whether that be a massive attraction, the size of. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is like the size of Cosmic Rewind as far as the building.
Sure, and they're adding fireworks very soon to Universal, and we've heard that they're probably going to do a nighttime ticket and have keep the park open much later. I mean, they really are throwing everything at winning here.
What would be a suitable monsters oriented show, though?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you've already got Monsters Unchained is probably one of the greatest thrill attractions. That's blended with.
Would you do something because of where maybe some movies are going? Would you do something related to mummies?
I think you could, but you have a great representation of Mummy in the original, frame of the Universal parks. I mean,
but is that going to? There are rumors that might not be staying though.
That's the third time I've heard somebody mention that rumor, and that rumor has been around for 15 years. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, there are moments in that are just you can't be. I don't know if you could replace them, and so. But that does take up a healthy footprint, and there's a backstage area there and everything else, and perhaps it's time to replace aging attractions with newer things. But the scale of expansion, I think, is the bigger, broader conversation here. And I don't think they're done with not only just Dark Universe, but I don't think they're done with any part of that park or anywhere close. I think we're going to see more Mario expansion. I think everything could be happening in the next 2 years, and Disney will still be playing catch up to, where Epic was after its first year, which is ridiculous.
Now, let me bring up something. People are annoyed right now on social media with Universal for this Universal Kids Resort. Says John Eider says this new Universal Kids Resort just opened 15 minutes from me, and well, it's a total flop. It's worse than you imagine. There's zero landscaping. The food is terrible. The tickets cost $55. Save yourself the trouble. Skip this and just go to Disney World instead. And you can see here,
if the tickets cost $55. I think that it might be where it's supposed to be.
Versus $200 for Disney.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have heard, okay, let me just say this. I want people to understand what is happening there is a different idea. It's a different tone. And they're not going to go to Epic now and do this sort of thing for the expansion. So I just want to clear that up for people who've been asking, Pro, are you worried? No. I think the people who are in charge of this expansion at Dark Universe are incredible at what they do, and they're gonna bring the same quality that we've seen at Epic.
Well, and let me just say this: Disneyland, Disney World, any theme park that opens does not have fully fleshed out landscape yet. Doesn't have fully fleshed out shade areas yet. They don't even have their paths finalized. I mean, they have paths.
I don't think they're going to. I'm going to say they're going to struggle. They need to add more theming flat out. I mean, the plans will be fine, but
I can't defend the Universal Kids Park.
Yeah.
It is terrible, but it's at least it's not $100 to go. Like that's the thing. Like I was just like, well, if this is like comparable to like a Six Flags ticket, then sure, that's fine.
Again, just to add to that, $55 is half of what you pay to get in Magic Kingdom, and half of Magic Kingdom is closed.
Well, so, that's fair enough on Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, stop making an argument for that. But I'll just say this: it's not fleshed out yet. It doesn't have the shaded areas that's required, and every theme park starts out missing some things, and that is true even of Epic. So let's just be clear on that.
The one thing that I will say also is the Universal Kids Park is made for kids. It's made for
different
little
demographics.
kids.
Little kids.
It is not intended for Disney adults or like adults without kids to run around and do a whole bunch of things and drink and all the things that you're supposed to do in like the Florida parks. It is very much a place for locals to take little kids.
Take their 5-year-olds. Yep.
Yeah.
Blaine, you are a connoisseur of theme parks, and you and I have been in theme parks before. What's your take on the way the market or consumers see Disney versus Universal now? Has that shifted post-Epic, do you think, in the last few years?
I do. It's funny. I actually had a conversation with someone recently that knows that, we end up in Florida quite a bit and that kind of thing. And we were talking about the parks, and they were like, look, with the price of Disney and the fact that like nothing ever changes, it kind of seems to be the same park, and what's going on with Epic Universe, they were like, I'd rather just take my family and go to Universal and go to all 3 Universal parks and stay over there for a fraction of the price of what it costs to go over to Disney. And it seems like Universal has a much better bead on what people are wanting from these parks, and even just looking out for the people that are going. It's like I've been seeing a lot of these videos going viral of all these big trips that you can take that are like you're going to other countries doing other crazy stuff, and it's a fraction of the cost of taking your family to Disney for a week, right? And Universal isn't really in the same boat, and all of these additions seem to be much more appealing and a new draw to see something new, to experience. Also, it's like we've been talking about for the whole show, where it's Disney as an entity. All of these properties they own are dwindling, whereas if you even just look at Epic Universe alone and you look at what people are interested in, you've got Nintendo over there. Kids love Nintendo. You've got the Dragon universe and all of that, and then the monsters. And so it's a lot more appealing to what kids and families, I think, are wanting to experience and see than what's going on currently at Disney.
You bet, folks. Epic moving very fast, Disney moving slow, unable to respond even to Epic before their expansions begin. Amazing to see. The House of Mouse has no clothes on as they try to catch up, and this could be one heck of an expansion for Dark Universe.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.